He's coming in back B-boy style, huh? Hat to the back.
I do that sometimes. Got to do that sometimes.
Hat to the back. All right. Okay, we're live.
All right.
We are live. Okay.
And we're back.
Are you ready?
Here we go.
Go. You got some fight in you. and I like that.
All right, what you got?
Okay. So I'm going to read this headline. All right?
All right.
Then you express yourself.
Oh, God.
They're both highly conflictual.
Oh, boy.
All right?
All right.
Okay. First one. No, let's stick a pin in that one.
Okay.
Okay, we'll come back to it. I read a story last night. Okay? Guy's a Canadian citizen. He visits North Carolina. He flies out of Charlotte. He gets back to Canada. They put him in armed quarantine, and they showed pictures of the facility, and he described it to be a detention center, right? And it had plastic on the walls and an armed guard. And they said, you have to stay here. He showed him a negative COVID test. He has the test every day, and they got stipulations, but what he's expecting is that he's going to be in there for 7 days. So and when he posted this, he had 3 days left, right? How do you feel about that?
This was him going back to Canada.
Back to Canada.
I would say I'm not mad. I'm not totally mad at that. I'm not totally mad at that at all, because every other country but us seem to be in some shape or form doing the best that they can.
What they would call flattening the curve.
Right. I mean, with the best of what you know and what you're armed with, even if that is just a mask or whatever. And it's almost like mandated to the point where, like, okay, you're either going to do this or we're going to kick your ass, type situation, or something. You will be held, there will be a consequence for you not doing the best that you can to help your fellow man through this thing. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that at all, especially when you're going to a place that, nobody well, I'm gonna say nobody, that enough people don't care to follow any kind of protocol.
And you just came from the worst example of this. So and I've seen people debate the numbers, and I don't know why we debate the numbers. The numbers are the numbers, all right? And it's a very unique group of people where every time you hit these numbers, they always go, well, then they'll tip off right into conspiracy, and just go, oh, the numbers are flawed, and then give you what did Nina used to say? Your inflated facts.
Your inflated facts. Shout out to Nina's, my dog.
Yeah, we miss you both
for real,
very much. Okay, so I wasn't mad at it either. I've never heard of Canada treating their citizens bad. Every Canadian that I've ever watched in an interview, when they asked them about their government, they said that they felt like their government had their best interest in mind.
And they primarily trust them.
I can't find one American that says, hey, man, our government.
Hey, man, they are looking out for us.
They really care, those people. They really.
Profit be damned.
Yeah.
They care about me.
Right. And our families. No, I can't. I think I would struggle to find one American that would say any nonsense like that.
No, I'm sure you can find some of those disillusioned 75. Oh, let me hush. All right.
Be careful.
Yeah.
All be careful.
All right.
So I wasn't mad at it either, and having COVID twice, and the second time not being sure if I was going to survive it, right? Mm-hmm. I knew myself that, dude, I knew that I felt like I was like this walking death machine. I knew that any store I went into, anybody I just thought about it. I was like, maybe it doesn't get the teenager, or maybe it doesn't get the 21-year-old, but that 21-year-old goes to their grandparents. So I can say I'm actually not mad about it, and
Right.
they're not going to kill him.
Right.
They're not going to execute
Right.
him. But I think it's they've taken it
Serious.
They followed the science,
Right.
and they're trying to protect human life.
I completely concur with that. I mean,
Yeah.
'cause that's one of the things that scares me to death now, especially where I was, from the working environment, that it appeared that that no one cared enough to care to make people follow protocol. Well, we can't make them. Yeah, we can to a certain extent, because I had two elderly grandparents. Now, one that I tried to. My interaction with them for the last 11 going on 12 months was, hey, here's some stuff. Love y'all. I'm out.
I don't want to kill you.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't even want to be in a position for that to happen. So, God, man, I don't understand how people don't think about that. That's the bothersome part, man. It's like you don't know anyone at this point in time. I think everyone at least knows someone, or within 2 degrees of separation from someone that has passed or either passed or dealt with COVID.
In the last 90 days, I've seen a lot of people change their tune, and I in fact changed my tune. I was a misinformed person. I even talk about putting your foot in your mouth. I made a video about being an anti-mask person.
I remember that. I remember that.
Now, do I think that the masks are the end all be all?
No.
But it's literally all we have. That's it. That's all we have.
Or stay your ass home.
Or stay home.
I can say ass on your podcast.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Absolutely. Ain't no safety on this Glock.
Oh, that's
50 cents every time. Ain't no safety on this Glock.
Yeah.
But I think they've moved into preserving human life in regards to how we're handling it. Go up north. I've been, and I just left Baltimore. Okay, there's not one place where you're going to go that will service you in any form or fashion. And in fact, if you were a human that wasn't wearing your mask, somebody would not be like the others.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. And I think I'm not trying to insult anyone, but I think there's a lot of things that contributed to that. One, there's more people. Two, I actually think, dude, the education level is higher up north, right? So my advice, just in this time, to anyone who's on the fence about this, from being an actual COVID survivor, I've had COVID twice now. I will wear my mask. I will follow the protocols.
Absolutely.
I am going to take the vaccine.
I am
as soon as it's available to. Now, I don't know if I want to take the Pfizer vaccine.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous about taking the Pfizer vaccine, but when I went through the 11th wave of COVID, I mean, there's just, what do you do? Now, okay, well, then there's all this conspiracy about all the possibilities and this is capitalism. They stand to make a profit.
For sure.
It is what it is. But these are also the same. And will they make a profit? Yes. And may there be some greed involved? Yes. Yeah. But these are the same people that conquered polio.
With a vaccine.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're not in iron lungs. And and we would have been if we'd even have got this far without them. So my advice to anyone out there would definitely be wear your mask, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and wear the vaccine. All right, cool. So next one.
I hope that if the side effect they say you have to worry about the mechanical roboto arm, I'll take that. I'll take a Jack's arm.
The Johnny Depp dude. No, did you see the meme where the guy was like he had like the fake Johnny Depp arm, and they gave him the shot. He kind of just walks off.
Oh my God!
What's that? Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah.
Okay, I got another good one.
All right.
It's deep. It ain't that deep.
All right.
We're gonna have some fun with this. This is gonna be fun. Okay.
All right.
Are you ready?
Go.
We're gonna close on this one too. You ready for the headline?
All right. So I'm bracing myself. I know you. That's why I'm not looking at you right now.
Okay.
All right.
Voting technology company
Oh,
Smartmatic files $2.7 billion lawsuit against Fox News, Rudy Giuliani, and Sidney Powell over disinformation campaign. Fuck 'em.
Payola, nigga. Pay up. Pay up. Pay up. Oh. 2.6?
2.7
Okay.
billion.
Yeah.
Billion.
And the basis for their disinformation campaign. Yeah, that's man, I think that may be the most profitable. I mean, the easiest way to make money is to find somebody talking of junk about you. That's wrong. Maybe we should hire someone to talk junk about you, then you sue them and see what happens. Oh my gosh! But I mean, even think. Think about what they did for 2 months, though. They set up the system because they say so much happened in 2016. You put this forward to say, okay, we're going to sanction the use of these machines and this company to do it, and now you don't get the results that you want. Now you trash them.
Okay, I'm gonna quote. I'm gonna give you an interesting quote.
All right.
This is a Donald Trump quote.
This is going to be funny.
No Republican can win an election unless it was rigged. Quoted Donald Trump.
Yes.
So are there two possibilities in rigging an election? Okay. Could you do it on the voter end? Is there a Now, we didn't find any possibility in this one, but if there were a possibility to do it, could you do it there? Yes. There's also another place you do it, in the beginning of the campaign.
From the get-go.
Political analysts in major universities can determine the outcome of an election by campaign sponsorship and stance. And they don't wait for the guys to come on MSNBC do all. They can correctly.
What's the name of the guy that has gotten it right since was it since Reagan? Or Nixon, whatever. He's from Harvard or MIT or something like that. That he's nailed every single one months and months before an election happens.
So all right, so let's talk about the beginning of the campaign. If your campaign can now, and mind you, these contributions, some of them are private.
Oh, for sure.
So the president, is a corporate bought official. He is sponsored by companies and interest, and most of these contributions are private if they have what's called a super PAC, right?
Absolutely.
So you never know. You're never going to know who put him in office. So if this president can raise 1.9, which I think is what he raised, 1.9 billion, and I think Biden raised like 1.8 billion, which is why they're just like, if you got 1.9 in the beginning, technically, right. But so there's two ways to debate rigging an election: the beginning of it. So forget the beginning of it. Let's throw that away because we're past that. And then you go to where we're going into these lawsuits. You got thrown out of every court in the land.
Every single one you went
and
to.
You did not stop. You were, bro. I mean, it's like if you got a dead battery in a car. It won't. It won't turn. I'll give it 30 more minutes. I'll be back. Right. And you hit it again.
And it was the funny part about that whole process was, and I still don't understand, like all the places where it tried to contest, and it only contested in places where you lost. So just think about even the state that we live, the state of North Carolina was relatively close, what, 70,000, 80,000 plus some odd votes. Why didn't you contest that? It was close. Why you didn't contest it? Because you won. Why didn't you contest New York or California? Because, I mean, just if you want to contest stuff, why only contest the ones that you lost? You didn't contest Florida. You didn't contest Texas. You didn't contest Louisiana or many other states that were that you knew that you were going to white, you can contest those. And even then saying, think about in all the states where you wanted to contest, Republicans won on those tickets too. So are you now saying that the Republicans that won, because the same voting machine that counted that and the same person who voted on that ticket, or enough to make sure that for the Republican to win whatever seat or House seat or state House seat or the Senate, whatever that was up for election on that vote, just because they didn't vote for you now, then it must be wrong. So that means we need to overturn all of the seats that you won in places where you won them, then in the places where you contesting, then, right? No, just mine. Believe me.
You got to put that on.
Oh
there.
My God.
Here's an interesting fact. I saw one person said more registered voters voted than there are registered voters. Complete false information. Only 66.7, and you can debate percentages. So you call it 70, you call it 65, right. But only 70% at the most of the voting population turned out. There was 30, and in that only half of America voted. We have 342 million people or whatever, right? So you throw 80 and 80 or whatever. That's 160 roughly. Only half of America even gives a shit.
Enough to vote.
To be inconvenienced with the hour it took to go down to the polls and vote. Well, so here was my whole stance on it. When they first came out and said voter fraud, I kicked my feet back and I was like, okay,
right,
all right,
let's see,
maybe,
right. At this point, I wouldn't put it past anything in the world for it to be, but let's see.
And then everybody that came forward, they were like, remember what, Tucker Carlson or Fox, he came out and said, he mentioned 5 people that were dead, and then he had to apologize because I'm
here. I'm not dead.
He had to apologize. This poor lady was like, no, I'm here.
Her family scared.
I'm here.
And her family was like, I didn't know.
What happened to her?
I'm
the last time I saw her, she was at the polls.
Right.
Did something happen at the polls?
Aunt Mildred, what happened? I didn't think you made it back.
God.
I cooked dinner on Sunday, babe.
Yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, it's just nothing, man. And they hung on that thing. They hung on that thing. They just would not get off of it. And just, Republicans that you blessed said this is the most efficient, secure election.
Guy you put in charge of, the guy you put in charge of security because you knew he was a bulldog. You put him in charge, and he told, no, Mr. Pratt, that's not what happened.
And talk about the professionalism of that guy. That guy after he got fired, he said, "Listen, it is what it is. I appreciate the opportunity and bowed out gracefully."
Right.
So let's just circle back around.
Okay.
Let's circle back around for just another minute. 2.7, but you think they win it?
No.
Okay. No, I mean, do you think that the company wins the suit?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. If they do, it will be a negotiation, and that'll be one that's settled out of court. That'll be an SOC. That'll be a settled out of court. Yeah. With all NDAs plastered over everything, you will never speak about this ever in your life again if you're not a goon squad's company.
And we're going to pay you this and sign. Right. Okay. What you think? I think $1 billion goes out.
Oh, I was going to say about 1.5.
I think $1 billion.
I say 1 to 1.5.
We'll call this. Yeah, we'll meet in the middle here.
Yeah, 1.25. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
I'm with you. Somebody's going to pay a bill.
Yeah. Because you really discredited my business. You discredited my integrity.
And you hired me.
To do this job because you believe that I would not put up with any BS. And now you say because you lost. That can't be true. It can't be.
Even if it was true. Now this is just pure Survival. I'm just saying, if I were him, and they could pull off being at every poll that mattered, and they were everywhere, and there were that many that could pull off that amount.
That's frightening. Yo, that's... Yeah.
Good day, sir.
And scene.
I got these other backup businesses.
Oh, my gosh. Right.
Look, hey, this president's just been real fun.
I just want to try it out and see how it works. Good luck.
Yep.
Y'all, I'm out. I'm heading to Mar-a-Lago.
I got this place in Mar-a-Lago. I'll be there. They'll even fly me there. They're going to fly me.
Oh, my God.
They're gonna...
If that wasn't the funniest thing, like for real, you're going to fly him home? Like, who gets flown home? Like, okay, did he send the plane back?
This is America, man. When you get fired, you find your way out the door.
You don't get a trip home.
No,
you don't
man.
get Ubered home.
Nobody
you don't
takes
get a
you
lift
home unless you bow out on good terms.
Oh,
never anywhere does somebody get fired and your boss look at you and go, "Hey man, I'm gonna get you right to the house."
No, we might have done that just to make sure that he left. You're like, you need to follow. But you know, on the real tip, what was scary about that whole I won't say scary because I can't act like every single thing that happened in the last 4 years was bad. It wasn't, because nothing ever always is always, and nothing is always never.
Okay.
So there were some good things that happened, even though they were on the backs of the previous administration. But hey, you got to take record for what your what your name is on when it goes through. So, but the fact that honestly he never treated this as what it was. It was a game the entire time. I mean, even back, as far as what the mid 80s, 90s, when he was saying, quotes out of his mouth, like he was saying, if I ever ran,
this is him.
This is his quote. If I ever ran for president, I would run as a Republican. Now, the rest of the quote, oh, good one. Yeah, stamp it. Because they will believe anything.
Yeah. This would be his market. This would be his market.
But again, like I told you, I'm glad it happened because that night when it happened, I stood in my bathroom, and my wife went to bed early once the notion started coming through. I stood in my bathroom and looked in the mirror, and I started crying.
This is Biden?
No.
Or when
Trump got, I cried because I felt what was getting ready to happen.
We talked about it.
We did.
We talked about this. We talked about civil movements.
Yep.
We talked about
destruction. We talked
we called
end of
this.
days type scenarios.
Yeah, we called
said
this.
that in 2015.
We
were
called
talking
this.
about this in 2015 and 2016, like all leading up to all of that. And damn if it didn't really happen. But again, I'm glad a lot of that stuff happened because for just me being a black man, it has now, because I'd been in a fog that thinking that, hey, just caught up with it's all better. It's it's way better than what it was, and even hearing people that I've seen that went through the civil rights movement and went through a lot of things in the 60s and early 70s, like, nah, son, it really isn't. But I'm looking from it like, hey man, I got a college degree, I got this, I'm able to go anywhere I want to work, but it's not changed in a sense until you see. I really believe we really won't see the real effects of his presidency for maybe 10, 15 years. But I think what has happened, it has brought maybe that last remaining hatred, the last remaining thing that has been festering under this nation's skin for the last 25, 30 years, where everybody learned how to play the political correct game in dancing around civil issues and equality and things like that, where they learn what to say in front of the camera and then go back to the boardroom and make decisions that were counterproductive to society as a whole. So I think it's called those out because you saw what the support was, and now you can say, no, we're not going to put up with that from you, company X, because you support this bull crap. And I saw it. I saw it the last 4 years because I saw where your dollars went.
Not going to forget, we can find the money now.
Right. I saw where your
have
dollars
the ability
went. Right.
to
Absolutely.
find the money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just feel like what I experienced was a repeat of one of the most previous unjust times in our history. Like I was taught that these things happen, and then I watched,
and that's
these
crazy.
things happen. We watched these things, like we were told that, and then we relived it.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you, this is why I found a greater respect for my grandmother and my grandfather, specifically my grandmother, because my grandmother was a part of those World War sit-ins in Greensboro. Not like the initial wave, but all of the, because it just wasn't that one day. It was several. My grandmother was a part of that. And it's like, I went to the Civil Rights Museum in Atlanta and just listened. They have a booth there where you can put on headphones like these, and it puts you literally at the lunch table in Woolworth, and it gives you 3D surround sound of people talking junk and glasses being thrown and just those kind. Man, I sat there in that and cried because it was like, oh my God, this is what they went through. I have no concept of I do from our 2000 standpoint, our 1990s and 80s standpoint, but yo, they lived that like for real, and that's oh man, that's still phenomenal to me, man, and that we're still here. But again, I'm glad he came because, even the devil had a purpose. So.
Well put. I'm going to say this in closing.
All right.
I wanted Bernie. I've always wanted Bernie.
We'll always have Bernie. We'll always have Bernie.
Dude, I've always I'm not going to say that I have the most hopeful. I'm just gonna be real. I just don't. I struggle to think that there would be legislation passed that would benefit us. But I've found some other glitches in the system, and we're gonna do our best moving forward to try to help you guys out with this on the ground. But for the record, I wanted Bernie. And when Bernie ran,
I just wish he would have been 35 years younger.
Well, so here's my thing. Do you know? I'm gonna end on one neat fact about how much I love Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
All right.
The burn.
Bernie Sanders is the only politician that ran his political campaign with no corporate backing.
Right. Wouldn't take it. Would not accept it.
And that was a very eye-opening moment for me. When we didn't get Bernie, I just went,
whatever.
If there was ever going to be any good.
Right. That would have been the chance.
But now I love the meme, but we put Bernie everywhere but in office.
Bernie, we'll get him. We'll get him in the White House. Somebody find me the empty meme.
Hopefully he holds them credible.
I think so.
Yeah, hopefully he's going. Right. But I've never seen anything backstabbing. I've only seen response. Even from the part where he took he took a bus full of diabetics to Canada so they could get insulin.
Right.
You know. But listen, Bernie's been giving us the real game the whole time.
Oh, the whole time.
Bernie was going, hey, don't look at the smoke.
Right.
This is what's going on.
Right. Find the fire. Screw the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're going to cut with this one.
This is beautiful.